Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning. Joe and Kim Palo with you. Middle of the week, Wednesday, 7:10. Jennifer, do we have a weather forecast real quick we can put up before we talk to Michelle? Let's let everybody see what we've got in store for us weather-wise today. 40% chance of rain. High of 68, low of 38. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with a high of 54, low of 28. And then Friday, sunny skies, high 55, low 29. Ooh, cover your plants, take a jacket.
That's right.
Currently, Jennifer, we have...
She's like,
Jennifer, currently our temperature is 38. It just came to me. It was just like that. I was 38 degrees. Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer James, our producer in the back. We are joined by Michelle Baker, as we promised.
That's right. Michelle's usually a co-host.
You're usually in that chair.
That's right. And Joe would probably prefer you in this chair because he wouldn't give you a hard.
I'm glad you said that, and I didn't have to.
He wouldn't give him a hard time like I do, but it's the price he pays.
Well, I co-hosted with Joe one morning.
Yes, that's right.
And he did give me a hard time, so it's okay.
It wasn't as bad, though.
No, it wasn't as bad.
But Michelle smells good, too.
Oh, well, there you go.
You guys just all smell good.
We clean up.
Jennifer, you smell good, too, back there. But in any case,
they were complimenting us. They were turning our heads. They were telling us how good we smell. They are, prizes, these men in the studio. I'm telling you.
Anything we can do.
That's right. You flatterer.
Well, there you go. So Michelle is going to talk to us today about memory screening.
So write this down.
Now this is serious. Mm-hmm. Those of you that are watching. Don't necessarily maybe think you have a problem or, but it's good to get screened.
But
just
if you know somebody that has a problem and that needs things to be done and you want it to go on a certain day, then, there you go.
You know how that happens.
It works that way.
So Michelle, tell us, what is all this about?
Yeah, what is it about?
Is this something that's been going on a while, or is they just starting this?
Well, it actually has been going on for several years, and it's a national event with the Alzheimer's Foundation of America. And what they do is they have different screening sites all across the nation where people can come for confidential memory screenings by a professional and find out, okay, do I have problems? Do I not have problems? Does my mom have problems? Do I need to know, I need to know what to do. And so what we do is we have a psychologist, Dr. Benjamin Birdwell. Okay. He has been gracious enough to, just to donate his time to come and do these free screenings. If Dr. Birdwell sees that there's an issue, the paperwork will be sent on to your regular medical physician for follow-up, for a more thorough exam.
Okay.
So it's really a very short 5 to 10 minute exam. I think I'm going to do it myself. Because even if you don't think you're having problems right now, it's good to get a baseline.
Right.
So, later on, do I need to do something different?
Because, it really is an epidemic almost.
It really is.
It really is. And there are so many different forms. It has touched our family big time with my father, and he was so afraid of Alzheimer's. He was so afraid. Now, he had a dementia called PPA, and there's a big argument out there if it's connected or not. But sooner or later, his didn't necessarily manifest itself in memory. It was a speech issue, but sooner or later, that memory, It goes. And sometimes it's just a natural, and it is. It's a natural part of aging.
And to a certain extent it is. But, I said this to Dan one day, how many 100-year-olds do you know that are just really sharp?
Right.
So it shouldn't be a huge issue as we age. And memory problems can be a different medical issue.
Absolutely.
It can be infection. It can be medication usage. So this is a good tool to find out, is it something that's reversible?
Right.
Right.
Now, just quickly on the test itself, so this he just basically asks questions?
Mm-hmm. It's a questionnaire. It's also a couple of tasks.
Right.
Maybe drawing a clock.
Right.
Saying 3 words and then a few minutes later asking what were those 3 words.
All right, now let me ask you this. So he'll obviously be able to tell the difference, obviously, but there is a difference between short-term memory loss and long-term memory loss.
Very much so.
And so either or could have something to do with Alzheimer's, or is it?
Usually with Alzheimer's disease and certain and different dementias, the short-term memory is the one that goes first. We see a lot of residents who have no idea what they had for breakfast this morning. but can
they
tell
can tell
you,
you.
Right.
you know, about mom and dad and different things they
See,
did.
now that was her dad. He could remember back when he was a kid.
Right.
And things, but.
And my
you know,
grandmother, she could
Yeah.
play the piano for the longest time. She could sit down and play the piano, but she couldn't tie her shoe, or button her blouse. But she could, that was a long time, lessons that she took as a child and to do that. And so it's just devastating. It's devastating to the family, but there's some better hope. It's not as,
Well,
and there's so many more options for caregiving. It's not all just,
And I think the stigma of the
Right.
disease is totally different
It
now
is.
than it was when, the age group that I normally take care of now was a child.
Right.
They just thought, oh, grandma just went crazy.
lost her mind. That's right.
Grandma
She
just lost her mind and went senile and,
That's right.
Yeah,
and just
senile.
lost it.
Well, you see, Pat Summitt has just come out and has announced it to the world that, listen, don't believe everything I say.
Yeah, don't believe everything I say. It's-
because it might be, but that it doesn't have that stigma. It's
It
to where
doesn't.
that, but we all have kind of seen through the media and Hollywood and everywhere else the devastating toll that it takes on the personality.
It does. It does. And personality issues are one of the biggest
Yes.
first indicators
Yeah.
as well.
Right.
And it's actually touching my family right now.
See.
And so that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, oh, he never
Who's that?
yelled at me
Right.
before.
That's right.
What's going on now? So, so that's one of the first things to look for. is-
So now, when is this day and where is
it
it?
is Tuesday at Wellington Place. the
Okay, now
fif-
that's Tuesday the
15th.
15th, okay.
From 9 till 5. We're
Wonderful.
actually doing reservations. We're,
really?
Oh,
we're
that's
scheduling
good.
people 30 minutes apart. We do have a few places left. Not a lot, but we do have a few places left. And we did that for Dr. Birdwell so he could spend the time with the with the ones who have
Right.
questions.
Now, let me ask you this, Michelle. This is not just for the elderly or folks
No.
that are. This is for just children,
for you.
people, young adults.
Anyone.
Yeah.
And the instance of the disease occurring in young people is really increasing.
Right.
Really?
I have a couple of residents at Clarebridge that are in their 50s and 60s.
No
And
kidding.
Dad's syndrome that he had was primary progressive aphasia, and it usually affects people in their 40s and 50s.
Yes.
I mean, he was quite old to have really had that diagnosis. I mean, there's some, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But the majority of the cases are people in their 40s and 50s. And you see, Pat Summitt, she's a young woman
She is a
to
young
be
woman.
diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So it's good to get screened early. And I know where Wellington is.
Right.
No, may not.
Place,
So
they
where
may
is
not.
right?
Wellington Place is in Executive Park.
Yes.
Up on the hill
Up on
behind
the
the
hill.
old Holiday Inn or the Mountain View Inn. That's what
Right.
I tell everybody. They're like, oh, I know where you are.
Right.
But it's going to be held up there. It is co-sponsored by Wellington Place and Clarebridge.
Sure.
But it's going to be up there from 9 to 5, and you can call our business office coordinator, who is the glue that holds all of us staff members together, is the one that's scheduling everyone for me. Her name is Pam Davis, and you can call her at 479-8899.
479-8899. So you've got a couple of spaces left where folks can call and make the reservation, and
Yes.
then of course just show up right before your time and get screened.
And we're going to have refreshments. We're also going to have some educational materials
Oh, terrific.
for both family members and people who feel like they have concerns.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a quick break
Let's
and
take
come
a break,
back
and we'll come
and
back.
come back and talk a little bit more about this with Michelle Baker. We're going to be back with more Tennessee Valley This Morning right after this. Stay tuned.
I'm Kathy Guy with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Call us today for all your personal insurance needs. With 28 years in the insurance business, I have the solutions and pricing you are looking for. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland, is your #1 Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep dealer in this area. Stop by and see the brand new 2011 Chrysler 200. The 200 is essentially a new nameplate with a significant facelift to the outgoing 2010 Chrysler Sebring. A beautiful vehicle at an unbeatable price. And while you're there, check out the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the newly designed Dodge Durango. Redesigned, revamped, and reinvigorated. Yes, the Dodge Dodge Durango is back, bigger and better than ever. Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep offers a complete parts and service department with qualified service technicians to fix and repair your vehicle. So for your next brand new or pre-owned vehicle, make it Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland.
I'm Dr. James Markham, host of the television program Heart of Health, seen right here on WTNB television, Thursday at 7 o'clock, Friday at 8 a.m., or Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
How would you like to look and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Anti-Aging, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. He is a licensed physician with the Board of Anti-Aging Medicine, offering affordable Botox injections. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. In addition to Botox therapy, rejuvenate and smooth wrinkled skin. The micro laser peel treats skin conditions associated with aging and active lifestyles. If you're looking for safe and affordable anti-aging treatment, call the Ford Center for Anti-Aging at 423-614-0535, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this
How
morning.
good I clean
Making
up.
fun of me. I'm assuming. Don't ever assume anything.
That's right.
But in any case, we are joined
Just assumed a lot.
with
You know what happened.
Michelle Baker of Wellington Place, and Michelle's is talking to us about the memory screening that's going to be happening this coming Tuesday.
This coming Tuesday.
From 9 to 5?
9 to 5.
9 to 5 at
Wellington Place.
At Wellington Place.
And
Now,
there'll be
we were-
refreshment, so you can get bad news and have a cookie.
And have a
Yeah.
cookie.
You may forget you had the cookie after you leave, but no,
Get
in all
another one. Don't
seriousness,
give me another
in all seriousness,
No, in all seriousness.
we did
It
mention
is
about.
not- but you have to be lighthearted about it.
You know,
because
you
if
really
it,
do.
Right, and it's happened with your family, happened
just,
with mine.
And just because you forget some things, we don't want these people to be totally alarmed.
No.
Does not mean you have a memory problem. I mean,
Absolutely not.
everybody
No,
forgets.
it's
Look at you,
fine.
Joe.
Right.
Look at you, Joe.
Where's Joe? Oh, but no. If you forget some things, does not mean you have Alzheimer's. Something
No.
bad's getting ready to happen. It's
No.
just people have that. People
Well, it's
have that
stressors,
habit.
and the older you
Stressors,
get, the
exactly.
more stuff you have, the more voices are in your head. I mean,
Exactly.
right? And so,
Well-
occasionally you forget what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Right.
But, and that's part of why we do
Right.
this, is to alleviate those fears.
Right.
Okay.
You know, it's not just to look at someone and say, yes, you have the early stages of Alzheimer's disease. You need to go get checked out. You need to do this. It's to look at someone and go, you're okay.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
You know, you're okay. You know, maybe you have a little bit of depression,
Right.
you know, because that's very, very common in our elderly is
Right.
the depression. So, you know, maybe we need to look at treating that, or maybe we need to look at a couple medication changes or something like that.
And nutrition.
And
So
nutrition
many
is huge.
Older people, they're not out and about, and just hydration. Hydration alone is a very big thing with memory. I mean, if you haven't hydrated that brain and you're not getting the liquids that you need, your memory is going to not be.
And
what
it-
it
I
should
mean, and
be.
that goes even for our age.
Right, absolutely.
You know,
That's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
how many times have you not had enough to drink, and by the
Right.
afternoon you're like, I'm
Dying here.
I just
And-
can't stay focused.
Right.
So,
there's a lot of things that it could be.
And it doesn't necessarily, like you said, it doesn't necessarily mean if you're elderly you could have this problem. It could be, like you said, when we talk kids, we talk the kids of the elderly that come in and get screened, our age, whatever, that would get screened. But there are people that are well up in there. And when Kim was in assisted living, she had a lady that had been a former teacher that was 100 or close to it.
104.
That
I have a 104-year-old
remembered
right
everything.
now.
Remembered everything.
Everything.
And it's not
and would
a
remind you of everything
Yeah.
every morning and every day.
so it's within, and a lot of it's genetics, I guess.
It is.
It is.
Some of it's
And you were talking about
medication.
that testing. There is genetic testing now.
There
but we
is.
just talked about it. We don't want to
Yeah.
know. We're not going.
Yeah, you know, and some people do want to know, and that's okay. I
Right.
personally don't know that I would want to know.
I don't want to know.
But at the same point, if you do know, or if you do know that you're in the very early stages, it gives you an opportunity to plan.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, to look at your family and have that conversation and say, this is what I would want.
Right. And
You
this
know.
is at what point I don't want you to care for me by yourself any longer, or you will care for me until the
Or
end
you
of
will
time.
care for me until the day I
end of
die.
time. And that's what my dad did with my mom. It was like, I don't expect you to do this,
Right.
you know, up until that point. But of course, you know, when it got to that point, she was like, he doesn't know I'm taking care of him. So,
Right. But I mean, it gives you that opportunity to, you know, tell your family what
Finances,
you
right.
want. You know, do your financial planning.
Absolutely.
You know, do a living will, a power of attorney.
Attorney.
You know, all of those things that you need to have that conversation about anyway, but most people don't want
Right.
to do it.
Well, now let me ask you this too: if someone gets screened and Dr. Birdwell sees that there is a problem, is there? We don't want to always talk medications, but is there medication or is there a process they can go through to slow the process?
Yes. There are new medications that will slow the process. There is no cure.
Right.
But they can at least slow the process to give you a longer, good quality of life.
And the earlier you find out, the
The
better.
earlier you find out, the
right.
better.
Because really, once you get to stage 2 or even into the later stage, there's really not, I mean, there's no sense in even messing with the medication. It's just.
There's a
it's
little
just
bit
a
of
little
different ideas on that.
Right.
A lot of times, a lot of physicians will not take you off the medications once you've started.
Started it, right.
Because they tend to hold you at a level, and then once you come off, there's a sudden drop, and you never can regain.
Amen.
So there's a different thought process, you know, on whether or not you want to do that, and it's totally a personal decision.
Now-
And, you know, and memory is not always related to Alzheimer's. I
No.
mean, you know, there is just the natural, you know,
Senility.
progression and, well, the shrinking of the brain as we get older. It
Right.
always happens. And just, you know, dementia that happens that's just because we're just not functioning. It's just like, I got a lot of things that don't work like they used to or look like they
Or
used
look
to.
like they used to. That's what I started to say.
Right. And so, you know, it's just the natural progression. And so
Right.
the older we get, the more that we are going to not function like we used to. But yet there are those debilitating diseases that we're seeing so much more of. And so to know if you're just naturally aging and gracefully aging, because it's going to happen to us all. Sorry, it's going to happen.
Unfortunately.
Right. Or if there's going to be the more pronounced of the personality change
Right.
and the different things that happen.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of reason to know. I'm one of those people, you know, if you can't see the back of my hair, it looks good. You know, and Joe's making fun of me, and
not
Michelle. I
making
think
fun.
Michelle's looked back there a couple times.
Well, no,
maybe
you
she
sound like
don't
my
know.
husband because I always tell him he's the ostrich with his head in the sand.
That's right. Well, I am. I'm like, you know, if I don't think it, then it's.
If I
not
don't see it,
happening.
it ain't
Right.
happening.
If I don't see-
Exactly.
If the tree falls in the forest and I don't hear it, it didn't fall.
It's
It
okay.
didn't make a
It
sound.
didn't make a sound.
Yeah, it fell.
No,
made
but
a
it
sound.
didn't make a sound, so I'm good with that.
Now, I'm not trying to stray off this a little bit, but with the memory loss thing, and from what I've understood, a lot, and I'm not trying to alarm anybody, I've just heard this. Tell me if you've heard.
Okay.
But with memory loss or Alzheimer's, a thing that contributes to that or could contribute to that is say this right to people, the aluminum, the mercury, the aluminum, whatever, inside products, whether it be underarm deodorant or this or that, and it pills up to your head and it makes a little thing in the top of your brain which starts making you not be able to remember.
He watches too much
No.
TV.
This was
I'm
on.
Sorry.
So the point being,
I'm
my
sorry,
point
you
to all
guys.
this is, when this comes out and all my testing comes out with all my scientists, you'll see. But with all that being said, there are things we can do health-wise without medication, without saying, okay, well, I've got this problem, I have some medication to help me, that can start now helping ourselves, some of the things we can do, right?
correct.
You talked about hydration and different things like that.
There's no scientific proof that aluminum
Right.
that is
You've
an
heard that too.
idea, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
have heard that.
Oh, yes.
But there's not any scientific
Right.
proof that it's that.
It's
you know.
genetic.
So don't worry about
I mean,
that.
it's genetic
I
as far as
think-
that goes. I don't think there's anything you can necessarily do. I mean, you always want to live healthy, but
Always
if you've
wanna
got
live
that
healthy.
plaque buildup that starts with the Alzheimer's, if you're prone to it,
There's not always anything you can do, but there is some proven studies that say keeping your brain active.
Okay.
Keep active. Socialization is huge.
Okay.
So because a lot of times what happens is someone will retire, they don't have any hobbies. They don't have anything like that. So they tend to go into like a type of depression, which is very reversible. But you've got to keep active. You've got to keep healthy. You've got to see people.
Crossword puzzles.
Puzzles.
And hydration.
Sudoku, is that how you say it?
Sudoku, yeah.
Sudoku?
I mean, all of those
can't do
mind
them.
teasers and those things, they are wonderful exercises for the brain.
Okay, I think we're about out of time. But real quick again, Michelle, give them the phone number if they want to make an appointment reservation for this memory day.
Absolutely. It's 479-8899. Call and ask for Pam Davis. But for anything that anybody needs, resources or anything, feel free to call me at any time. I'm always available.
Don't forget.
Yes, don't forget.
To get
Michelle,
your memory screen.
Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
Tuesday.
And we thank, of course, Ron Moore for being with us as he does every Wednesday. We hope you've had yourself a good morning. Remember, 38 degrees currently. Drive safely to work. We'll see you next Wednesday. Have yourself a good rest of the week.
And
Jennifer
don't worry
James,
about the
Joe
emergency
Palo.
thing at 2. It's
Right.
not.
Don't worry about it.
No aliens.
We'll see you.